welcome back. It's another video, another day. Basically, I stopped the previous vlog here and now I'm starting again. So for me, it's just like one continuous day, but it's not, it's another video, so hi. Anyways, basically today, so if you didn't know, I've recently, as a free woman from a bit of coursework, I have a couple days off, so I'm trying to implement a sort of system similar to like how I did have in the summer with how I want to structure about my day to get more stuff done. Wait, let me move this back. I'm moving the mic back. Don't see it, don't look at it, don't observe, don't notice that. Anyways, because I'm trying to like structure it so that I like min-max it and make the most of my time, and then hopefully like implement this like in the December holidays or like when I get time off. So I'm trying to do that. Yesterday was a bit of a fail in the sense that like, let me just zoom you down also, or maybe I should just push it out and then just move around. Maybe that would be better. Anyways, so yesterday, don't ask me why I finished at 10. Don't ask me why I was working for like 11 hours. It wasn't fully like working for 11 hours because like, well, like I was supposed to work for 8, but like basically I was like, at the beginning I was feeling a bit sick, and then I realized, oh my god, I am sick and my stomach is dead. And then, yeah, I couldn't really complete this. I felt like this was a unrealistic standard anyways, because I remember doing stuff like this at the beginning. So basically what I'm realizing is like, I can't get like a page done a day. That's too tall of a task. I've also got the formatting left and sort of the colouring, because the colouring isn't quite finished for page 34. I have like sort of the finishing touches that I put on top. Also, I'm not too happy with like how the background looks, so that's the thing, so I'm gonna tweak that. The thing is also, because I'm kind of out of it, I'm like, should I not just do it and then come back? And then, because this is what I did with the last vlog, kind of, because I didn't want to edit for a long period of time, but this also helps. Like, it helps shortening the editing, but it also helps me take it a bit more easier if I'm just doing it without you seeing it. But anyways, the formatting I am going to be doing on my own. Finishing the embellishments, that obviously needs to come first because I need to finish the page. So it's kind of like, do I do those embellishments with you, or should I just check back in and be like, ayo, here's all the pages? I think I'll just right now currently show you how page 34 is looking, and then I'll check back in after it's done and be like, so here's where I tweaked it, here's what and why. Anyways, basically it's so weird. I'm trying to look at what I wrote through my camera, through my phone, instead of just like looking on the page. Crazy. It's like I could just read it easily from here, but I'm like trying to figure it out from here. Anyways, so I will be starting page 35. Originally what I wanted was like for me to do the templates on Monday, which I did, but I didn't record that. I didn't do page 37. So basically this has been a series so far of me saying unrealistic standards for myself for the day to complete within the 8 hours, and then it's either, and then basically I am finishing overtime in both the days, because I finished in 9 hours there, and then 11ish if you want to count it that, but like minus like 2 maybe if I'm like being very generous over here. And then over here, who knows, but I told myself like I'm not gonna tick that off unless I do specifically 8, because I do want it to be like sustainable, where I'm like not burning myself out, if you get what I mean. Yeah, that's kind of it. Again, I don't think I'm going to do the colouring. I won't be able to finish this. Likely wet balloons I will. I can maybe do the wet balloons with you, or maybe tweaking the liner, I don't know, or I might just check back in at that stage as well. So there'll probably just be a lot of like back and forth between me like checking in at like times and being like, hey, I did this, boom. Yeah, so I'll just show you what I did yesterday. Again, here's the, I think that's fine for you. It looks so dark for me, but it's also like a cloudy day, so I can't put it too bright, otherwise it's like not thing for you. Is this, I don't know if you're viewing this at a slope or not, but like hopefully it's okay. Is that better? This is the part that I'm unhappy with. Now let me explain, okay? Because this is like the only main background, right? So this is part of what I call the splash art. So if you're new here, Majestic Guardian is written as a novel, but it is illustrated as a comic. That's why we have like lines like this where it's like, she smirked, and okay, that's kind of it for this page because it's dialogue heavy. But usually there's a lot of narration because this girl here, Laura, she's our narrator. So the thing is set as a novel. In the novel, like as I've written it out in the novel, there are descriptions for where scenes are taking place and stuff. Like specifically if it's like a location that has a very like specific look to it, or a very specific like, oh, this door's here, that door's there, this door's there, this is sort of the dynamic, so you have a better angle, I mean like a better understanding of like what is going on, or like where these characters are positioned. So this is part of the illustrated art for that scene. So basically what I do is, for locations, I have something called splash arts that I do of the locations. I don't even know if I'm using that term correctly. I don't think so, but like it's kind of like embedded into my system now to say it like that. Anyways, so this is part of the splash art. The splash art is like I want to say it like this much wider or so. Like if you imagine like a room carrying on for like this much maybe. That's just to say that there's like 2 more doors here. There's like another door here, so we're not getting the whole picture here anyways. But the splash art I save for when the description is going on, because like I showed last time, but I'll still show you because there's usually new people around. This is like the outside of the pet shop and where Jazz lives and stuff. So that's sort of like the whole splash art, if you will. That's like sort of like close-ups onto different parts where like Laura's speaking about it, like in terms of the narration. So like for example, she says the top floor is like where the 2 live, like Jazz and her dad, and you know, it's just zooming into the top floor and whatnot, blah blah blah. And there's like, it's very, again, it's very like, if you want to interpret it as Laura's drawing the whole thing, because she draws, there's a lot of it that seems like Laura embedded it into the story, if that makes sense. Like the sort of like sellotaped Polaroids and whatnot. I think like not the last one, I think it was the 25th vlog, if you care. Like I kind of was just yapping whilst making the template or so, or maybe it was the vlog before, I don't know, I've lost count, I've lost track and I've lost count. And no, I think it was that one, it was the one where I had course booked you, I don't know. Anyways, but I was just yapping about like the narrative perspective of Laura a bit, I think. But yeah, so splash art used for when there is description. This, not description. This be spoiler for splash art. Do not want it to be spoiler for splash art. Thus, I'm thinking like this. But this makes me sad. So what do I do? Question mark. Also, the style of it is very different because obviously like this is a lot more detailed. This is like, if you zoom into it, there's just so much, like even if I took away the line art layer, let's imagine, because this is how the splash art looks. Obviously, actually it won't let me zoom in that much because it's not that big of a file, this thing. This canvas is like huge, but it's not as big as the splash art, because the splash arts are like so huge that like because I need to like zoom in and like pinch stuff from it, so they're like so huge that they only like, I can only draw up to like 6 layers onto them. That's like how massive those things are. Anyways, this like it doesn't fit with the characters. The splash art usually is void of characters when I like embed it and stuff, so I'm kind of like, like I don't know, like this seems a bit not, like I don't know, it just seems like so like tarnished in comparison. But it's like, what else do you want me to put there then, you know? Unless I just like sort of blur it out or whatever, because like the page that I'm going to be doing today, that has like scenery shots as well, like location shots. Like we have like an angle over here somewhere and we have an angle of the lighting above, sort of like as they're talking on top of it, like they're talking out of shot whilst we're panning through like sort of certain sections of the location. I just yapped for so long about that. This needs a bit of a change because I don't want it to be as intense as this, because obviously it doesn't match. Like obviously my illustrative style is a lot more heavier and embellished compared to my comic making style, so it works in terms of like when I embed it with descriptions, because it's still like something pretty to look at and it like catches your eye in that sense. But for the sake of you catching their eyes, as in the characters who are speaking, because the background's not that important here, it doesn't portray that. And I don't know if it's the dullness, I don't know if I just need to like push it away, like maybe I just need to like what's the word? I don't know, maybe what I'll do, I just thought of it, like maybe I'll use like the decimally bits that I sometimes use like in their eyes or like other places, or like here for example. Maybe I'll use it to separate them out from the background. Maybe, I'm thinking. but it's also like I don't know, I just don't like it. But it's gonna be something that I'll fix, and then I'll also do the embellishment. I think it might also be a fact that I didn't really, I mean, like, the liner's good enough for the scene, but like if the background's too heavy, then it's like you're not gonna look at her for the three of them. But I really do like this like picture of Rookie. I'm gonna zip and do that and the embellishments, and then I'll come back and then I'll show you the sort of final look of this page, and then I'll do the formatting in my own time, and then I'll come back with the template for the next page. So yeah, see you in a bit. I'll also eat in that time as well. Breakfast trauma. Boo! I'm back. Basically, I think I'm done. My what is this? My iPad kind of crashed on me. Like full on black screen, and I don't remember if I was in the middle of drawing when it happened, but then I went to 10% and I was like, you know what, let me go eat, let me just put this on charge. My phone is currently on 10%, so I'm so prepared to be recording and all that. Anyways, I think it is mainly done. I was just adding embellishments, so I was using Dragon Heath brush in the Procreate library, and then in the classic library I was using the decimally bits. That's kind of the main two that I do when doing embellishments. Sometimes I use the brush. I was gonna say the pen. It's not a pen. Sometimes I use the brush that I use in the line art just to add like a bit of texture and stuff. I don't actually know if I did that with the brush, just to add some stuff going on top. Like I kind of smoothed out her hair-ish so it's not too crowded line art wise. I think this really did help the pop of colors, like you sort of decimally bits behind them. And what I also did was I had already outlined everything, but I had it on the line art layer. So instead what I did was like I selected it, copy and pasted it, I put it lower over here, I merged them so you can't see them now, and then I deleted that off of this area. So it's a lot more softer, it's a lot more in the distance. Don't need to worry about it too much, it's not that bad, and they're a lot more forward facing. They're more closer to us and we can like pay more attention onto them. Anyways, I'm a bit excited to move on from this. I don't know, there's part of me that wants to call it done. There's part of me that just wants to add like a little bit more embellishments and stuff. I probably won't show you after I've done the embellishments because, well, if I do more embellishments, either way, when it comes to like the YouTube formatting, you might see it when I'm doing the scrolly thing. So you'll see how it looks finally, but not necessarily right now. Or I might just check back in and then show you after it's done, basically. Or you'll see it, you might not see it in this vlog, is what I'm saying. Anyways, I like how some of these turned out. Again, I put way too much detail into things that are only coming up for like a couple seconds. Like, look at that, that's so fun. The sun is also dying on me because it's winter, so that's never great, but it's fine for now. Can't really do much about it. So this page deemed kind of done, maybe question mark. We're gonna see. I'm just gonna peer review it with myself again right now. Yeah, I'm gonna peer review it with myself again right now, and then I'm gonna format it. Oh, and then I have to start the next page. So before I start the next page, let me just show you the, what's it called, the template, so that way like you know what I'm working on at the end of the day, hopefully, depending on sun as well, because like I don't know, the sun just keeps disappearing on me. So it's like, do I record with like the bleeding light of like the bulb in the sky of my room, or do I just wait for the bulb outside in the world to just be shining the next day? You know what I mean? Anyways, but by the end of this video, I will show you this. I will also show you the next page, the line art question mark maybe, and the word balloons. But I'll show you the template for it right now so you can see that and then be like, wow, you're in for a fun one. Because I like how the template came out and I just need somebody to tell me it looks nice. Because like, look at it. It looks so anime-esque. Look at them. They're just fighting. The girls are fighting again. Anyways, basically. So it starts off as, okay, I've said this before in the previous video, but like not everybody's the same, so I'm gonna yap again. Basically, Laura's mom is here, but she's been introduced somewhat. Like, I haven't done chapter 1 or chapter 2 yet. We're on chapter 3. I'm gonna go back to chapter 1 and chapter 2 just to make sure that my initial mistakes and the way I want to go about it is in chapter 3, not in chapter 1 and chapter 2, so that I don't really make mistakes over there. Even though I probably will, but like they won't be as major as some of the mistakes at the beginning of chapter 3. Also, my chapters are as big as volumes. I'm sorry about that. I just mean volumes when I say chapters, but they're called chapters, but they're also a novel and like the world. Anyways, so there's Laura's mom. I was like in a bit of a predicament because it was like either I make her mom visible here, but there's a scene later where it's like more in description of like how she looks and how her personality is or whatever. Like she's interacting with Laura. That comes later on. But in chapter 1, there's like Laura, when Laura comes home after school, she's like on her way to her room to get changed, and her mom's like, oh, like you're back, like, you know, food's ready or something, whatever, blah blah blah. Anyways, I haven't drawn that yet, so I don't know if her mom is shown there. What I think I might do is I might just I might just grab this drawing because I didn't really like this one in the end. I kind of wanted to like grayscale it or like completely block it out and then have like a who's that parent, but instead of like who's that Pokemon. But then I didn't like that, and then I was, because the silhouette looks quite a lot like Laura because they share the same sort of like hairstyle and hair in general. So I much prefer this one. What I might do is I might just scale that up so it looks a bit like, oh, Laura drew this or something. Like it looks more sketchy than it does like a finished illustration, so that way it doesn't fully seem like we've met Laura's mom. It's just like, oh, we've got like a teaser, I guess, of her, or like an inkling of like who Laura's mom is or like how she looks like or whatnot. Anyways, and then we have Laura and Jazz, and because it like there's quite a lot of like Laura Jazz in this scene because Rookie's not even talking. Rookie's just being a rabbit. That guy's a pixie. We haven't seen him in his pixie form for quite a while now. Anyways, because there's quite a lot of like dialogue between Laura and Jazz, I decided to like sort of give you a bit of a break here, see a bit more of the scenery or whatever, because we haven't reached the description-y bit of like how the layout looks like and whatnot, which I really do like these bits and bobs. I'm most likely going to do is copy and paste this completely in. The only things that I'll have to do like clearing up on is sort of this section and also that, I guess. Like I don't mind that for line art though, to be fair with you, frankly. I don't mind this as well. It's just the color coding which is a bit like but it's fine, I'll figure that out. I really like this though, so I'm probably not gonna touch it because we've got like Jazz smiling and being like hee hee ha, and then there's Rookie glaring at Laura, and then there's Laura kind of glaring back at him, and I just really like how these two in particular turned out. I do like it. It's quite a dynamic piece, and it's like slowly getting more and more like clashy in between, and then it kind of ends with like Jazz just being like, oh, his coat's so soft, what did you do? But basically she's not noticing these two are like glaring at each other. Yeah, so I'm excited about that one. Gonna start that one today. Hopefully what I might do is like enter in sort of like this layer of line artness. I will import it, and then I'll probably try and play around with this because it's just the fact that some of it is green and some of it is thing. Actually, you know what, if I just colored everything like brown or something, it might not actually be that big of a deal, and I'm just making it like slightly bigger of a deal than it needs to be, because I think it's fine. I honestly think it's fine. I think all of this is fine as line art. Like, give me a break. I think it's okay. I think it's okay, guys. I think it's okay. Anyways, so that's kind of it for now, and then probably by the time I meet you again, that page will be fully done. If I do make any changes, I will let you know, or you'll see the work in progress of this, but there's kind of no end page by the end of today, so if that makes sense. I mean, the dopamine was kind of at the beginning and kind of like in the middle. Yeah, this is not gonna be in the end. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Don't cancel me. But I do like these little chibi-esque things. I'm trying to be a bit more variant with how I do things. Guess who was yapping too much and forgot that their phone was dying, and then it died on him, and then thought that their phone died. No, their phone died, and then like, put your hands up if and when you okay, anyways, basically my phone died. It's on 5% right now, so I'm just gonna try and speed this. Basically, yeah, so by the end of this video you're probably gonna see the text done and the line art a lot more smoother and accomplished. Not gonna touch that bit because I really like that bit, and that's kind of it for now, and then I'll come back, and then if I made any changes I'll let you know on that page, and I will let you know how this goes. So yeah, in like 2 seconds again, maybe. Okay, it's 6:30 and we have lost the sun. I repeat, the sun is down. We are now being lit by the bulb in the sky of my room. I think that's what I said last time. Anyways, I'm like, it's just a bit like, can you even see properly though? Oh, sorry, the mic. I don't know if you can fully see without glare. I'm just gonna try and cover that. But basically what I didn't realize, a huge like factor into this, is that I forgot, like I was like, oh, this seems different. This feels really weird trying to zoom in with that hand. But the reason why it felt so weird, okay, sorry, you're just gonna have to ignore that. But the reason why it felt so weird was because I didn't add any of the shinies, and the colors look all different right now because lighting. I'll probably show this maybe tomorrow morning. But anyways, I managed to do this, like finish this off, and I've managed to do both formattings, though the web tuning formatting took a bit longer for me because I kept making like a mistake. Something like one of the resolutions wasn't right or something. You'd think by like 34 pages by now, which translates to about, I think, 90 webtoon pages, because the webtoon formatting is like 800 by 1 to 80. Yeah, so it translates to like 90 something pages. Anyways, you'd think by then I would still, like, I would know what I'm doing, but I don't. So anyways, so that's kind of it for today. Let me just, I haven't really done much on the next page. I just about, like, I'm working on making the word balloons. So right now I've separated the word balloons on a different layer, and then on this layer I'm going to remove those word balloons and sort of like clean up the lineup. Particularly here, I really like the dynamic that is going on down here, so I am not gonna touch that by any means. I feel like this is just gonna be so fun to color, and I am excited to do that tomorrow. But yeah, I think pacing wise, this means like for myself, for my like trying to work study thing, like as in my working day routine type of thing, I think basically one page should be split between 2 days. Realistically, if I do like one page per 2 days or so, then like I'm only gonna get like 2 pages done per week. But then again, like the 2 pages are like this. But that's not that great of a rate. That's such a slow rate still. Like considering the fact that like on Friday, particularly Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like I edit and relax during that time period. But like it's like the videos and stuff that I'm working on, like the editing and the videos and the this and that, or just like general lifing that goes on. Then Mondays does seem like a good, like it seems like a good template making day, so it's not too big of a start to the week. But yeah, I don't know, either I'm gonna have to like figure out a way to like reduce the way that I work to make it easier to work, or like just find a way to lock in, or just cut down the amount of times that it takes for me to like finish a page and stuff. But I know that like some of these things are like a bit more challenging to do, and I do feel like today, because I didn't have that much scheduled, or like my main premise was actually finishing within the 8 hours, not necessarily like not necessarily completing my tasks. So I feel like today, because I didn't have that like end all be all type of thing of like get everything done, I was less stressed. But I also feel like I procrastinated a bit, or like maybe this is how it's meant to be, like, you know, maybe it's not meant to be that stressful as I tend to make it. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna probably finish off the word bubbles. I don't know, I'll see if I can start the line art, clearing it up. If I can't, and if it reaches 7:15, which I've been yapping for quite a while, so maybe it will. If it reaches 7:15 and I haven't started the line art, then oh well, you know what I mean. Anyways, but that's more of a tomorrow thing to do, but it's a very exciting thing to particularly the coloring of this. So I will see you then. Bye. See you. As in, I'll see you next week, but this is the end of this vlog. It's like, because for quite a while now, like because of uni and stuff, I've been recording like the day that I'm, like the week that I'm gonna post. So it feels very like, okay, yeah, I'll see you next week, I'll see you next week. But now it's like, okay, no wait, I'm making like a bit of a video bank mentally, and also like filming wise. So it's like, no wait, this is coming out in a week's, well, so which week is this coming? Like that's what's going on in my brain. Anyways, okay, see ya. Bye, I guess. Bye. Oh, it's gonna be so fun. See ya. Bye.